what's next is retail electronics, $8 to $15 an hour, which is going to be extremely difficult for me to ever pay the debts that I have now. However, I'll do it. But I already did that with one local firm, and they'd never call me back.
I don't want, if I have an accident, a medical problem, an emergency, I don't want to have to, be begging friends or family for money. I want to always be pretty independent.
I wish there was some way that I could turn my past and what I've done into a positive quality that these managers would look at and think that I'm just as qualified as someone with a 4-year degree.
Interview the Best is here to help. Alan Ladd has dedicated his adult life to helping people find jobs. Having worked as a top executive recruiter, Alan is now a nationally sought-after speaker, teaching both recruits and recruiters his secret to landing a job. Alan has helped thousands of people get their dream job and prosper. Now Alan will pass his secrets on to you.
It doesn't matter how overqualified or underqualified you are. The person that interviews the best will always get the job.
For this amazing DVD, Alan has carefully put together a cross-section of candidates, all of whom had 2 things in common. They all needed a job, and like almost all of us, they were never taught how to interview.
It's painfully obvious that my strategy has not been effective to this point.
I need to improve my communication skills.
I personally think that the interview makes or breaks you, because you can have everything you want on paper, but if you can't talk to the person who's interviewing, who's going to hire you?
For the first time, Alan reveals the insider secrets and techniques to effectively send out your resume, answer any questions, ace any interview, and land the job.
If you go into an interview and you feel like there's no one that can beat you, that's enough alone. And these interview skills that I've learned through Alan and all the techniques and all the questions, I never sat in an interview where I got a question that threw me off. I was never hit with something that I couldn't handle. And that was the difference between getting the job and not getting the job.
Interview the Best will make a difference. Here's just a small sample of what you'll learn. For just $29.95, you'll find out that you're more qualified than you think.
And I love to use the example of somebody early on in life or currently that's working at a hamburger restaurant. And when you ask the average person, what did you do at these fast food restaurants? And they're in an interview. What did you do? I flipped burgers. That is possibly the worst answer you could ever give, because no matter how insignificant that you might think it is, it's not. It's helped make you the person that you are, and be proud of it.
Alan gives everybody confidence, and it's not just false confidence, but it's really true confidence. You're prepared, you're ready, you're confident, you have the right questions, you have the right information background, and those things only come from working with Alan and ITB.
Learn why you may be wasting your time looking online.
I want to talk about the online agencies. If you go back 6, 7 years, it was unique. It was the hot thing on the market. People would send their resumes in. Okay? What's happened now is it's become oversaturated. Too many people are sending in their resumes. They have a database of so many resumes that when the average interviewer goes there, in the old days, he might see 100 to 1,000 resumes. Suddenly he's got 70,000 resumes. Nobody has the time to go through that.
Learn how to get a great job, even if you don't have a college degree.
Lisa didn't finish her degree. Yet Lisa had a situation, she had hardship at home. She was forced to make a decision, continue my education or take care of my family. Sometimes you can't go to school. And if you can't, you're going to have to come up with strengths and experience that are going to overcome that. She's computer literate. She's sold a technical product. She's been able to learn, retain, and communicate technical information. So she lacks a degree. So what? Our economy is falling apart. Millions of people don't have a degree. And millions more are not going to get their degrees or ever have a chance to go to school. So what do? They don't go interview for a job? No, they've got skills. Lisa has it. She just has to understand how to communicate that and be proud of every decision she made. She showed a lot of responsibility. She showed a lot of compassion. She took care of her family. Family came first. I like that in a person.
You'll never know what you're really worth unless you can answer this question.
The question may come up in the interview, what kind of money do you want to make?
$75K.
I'd like to make $50K.
I'm going to make 6 figures.
When the money question comes up, you never want to give them a dollar figure.
The close isn't something you do to the door as you leave.
I hope you all understand what it means to close. So I'd like to go around the room just to get everyone's perspective on closing.
A close is a lasting impression that you leave with them.
Selling yourself one last time.
A clear understanding as to a timeline in which any decision or next step in the process is going to be made.
I wouldn't be happy with any of those answers, but we're going to go through it, and I'm going to explain what a close is and how you're going to position yourself and make yourself better.
Well, I'm always amazed that these people go out and get these great degrees, MBAs, and marketing degrees, and sales and advertising, and all these great degrees. And then they sit down in an interview, they'll spend 20 minutes talking about their history and their career and their experience, and they never ask for the job. They never close for the job.
So you have a job offer. Here's the worst mistake you can make.
You're in the interview and the manager offers you the job. He talks money, he talks benefits, and a start date. But you know that tomorrow you have another interview, and it's the perfect job. It's the job that you've been waiting for, and you've already been through 3 interviews, and you're hoping to get an offer tomorrow. What do you say to this manager who's just offered you the job right at this moment?
I am excited that you do feel confident that I can be a contributor to the team, but I do have another offer, and I do have to compare both and see what's better for myself.
I really don't know.
I'm not going to accept the job. I'm going to thank them and tell them that I need 24 hours to consider the offer.
I would be really excited, and I would also thank them. And then I would say, I'm going to go home also and think about it. Think about your offer and think about all the things that you've just told me during this interview, and I will give you a call.
I like the idea of telling them that I have another offer, but I think that's a step. I'm going to have to go with, I'd like to ask for 24 hours for consideration.
I wouldn't be happy with any of those answers.
Learn the answers to this question and so much more. Have you ever been taught how to interview? You're not alone. Even after years of college, up to 99% of the population does not know how to interview and land their dream job.
There isn't a program in college that prepares you for the interview process. There isn't one. You get that through the experience of going through interviews and interviews and interviews. However, if you get ITB and Alan's information, it's going to put you way ahead of the game.
It's the one tool that will finally teach you everything you need to know to get into or back into the workplace. Learn why memorizing hundreds of questions and answers is a waste of time.
The difference between Interview the Best and reading a book. Reading a book that has 700 questions that might come up in the interview is almost kind of silly when you think that the average interview lasts about 30 minutes. How many questions do you think they're going to ask in 30 minutes?
Alan will teach you what no one else will.
Jamie, where do you see yourself 5 years down the road?
I see myself with starting a family. I see myself...
Don't make this mistake. Learn the answer to this question and so much more. Just order Interview the Best today.